I believe in 100 years we will look back on education as it's practiced in America, and it will send chills up people's spine.
People talk a lot about we have to save the planet, but really the planet's going to be fine. What we're endangering is the conditions of our own survival. We have to get more creative, not less, more ingenious, not less. And that's why education becomes front and center.
Education's all about brain development. And if you wanted to design a learning environment that was directly opposed to what the brain is naturally good at doing, you design a frickin' classroom.
Students learn when they can also play, and that the idea of a kind of force feeding of education is not how you learn.
In the early 1900s, we adopted pretty profoundly authoritarian measures of control.
Unfortunately, so many districts across the country reduce their recess time.
Let's take away the recess. Let's make the school hours longer. That's not going to help if you're doing the wrong thing.
99% of the world has experienced learning in a certain way up until this point, and it hasn't really been until the last 10 or 15 years where people begin to question that way.
Children from 2 on up are natural explorers. We are born to be creative and to explore and to be curious about the world.
When you're playing, you learn sometimes the most.
Teenage brain has to feel like whatever it's doing it for something bigger than itself. Chasing a grade or getting credits is not something bigger than yourself.
I don't want to be an alarmist, but I do know that if we do not fix our education system, we're in trouble.
Students in America are under continuous stress. You can see it in their body, you can see it in their behavior, the rigidity in terms of compliance in American schools.
Education in America is like the prison system in America, like many institutions in America, is corrupt.
This is a government in which these business people profit.
People are being put through this meat grinder of testing and GPAs and SATs, all to get them to college.
So we get used to this process of memorization, focusing on grades on the test score rather than our own intrinsic motivation.
Parents are responding to the highly competitive environment that we're living in, the globalized economy that we're living in, and they're scared.
In Finland, pupils are not burned out with tests.
By concentrating on the human part of our students, you get incredible academic achievement.
At the end of the day, we know that what makes people happy is tuning themselves and getting centered into what they're meant to do.
So we are providing that education, but it's just a little different.
It's not about how much education, it's about what kind.
The first year of Ad Astra was 8 children, 5 of whom were Musks. It required a lot of trust from the parents.
If we get them hooked on what they want, then maybe the rest falls into place.
If he's teaching me something through a project, then I'm more likely to learn it than just reading it from a book.
Not everybody needs to go to a 4-year college. Not everybody needs to be under this astronomical student loan debt.
The world is different for everyone. Everyone lives a different world, but if you can find your passion so you don't have to work every day.
Recess is not just a break. So you don't think I should take away recess?
No!
And they want to take away recess. Do you think that's a good idea, or?
No. Every school must have recess. So we should put back their recess.
The American education system tells you exactly the fate of our empire.